That's a cop.
Hey, that's a cop. The first thing you said.
Oh shit. Wait,
Oh shit.
Back normal.
Yeah. Wait.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
He's actually pulling us over. For what?
Wait. You guys are actually getting pulled over.
My heart is beating so fast. I hate cops.
Jawon's in Utah too. He's gonna get fucking shot up.
So it expired back in November of last year.
November.
I'm like screwed.
Yeah, so you're a ways out, so you need to take care of it.
Okay. Oh, this one's expired too. I haven't updated it.
Oh, this is cringe.
We'll figure out how.
Holy fuck. This is cringe.
Yeah, I can figure out that. I'm sure.
So tell you what, work on that. If you get something, just show me when I come back up.
Okay. Sounds good.
That is so cringe.
Yes, sir.
Very easily.
This is what I got. Geico.
Yeah.
They like make you log in immediately.
This is cringe, bro. He's trying to do small talk with the cop.
Yeah, working well.
This is so awkward, bro. This is so awkward. This fucking sweet talk is so awkward, man. Yeah, the cops hate Jawon. That's a story. The cop, there's this one cop that is always on Jawon's ass. But I mean, it's kind of valid. Jawon has totaled his car before. He's really fucking not. The cop is racist. But yeah, every time that cop sees Jawon, they just go for his ass. That's what he was telling me.
Just say.
And they don't like Jawon. Wait, Tristan's shaking. Look at his hand. Look at his hand. He's actually shaking. Yikes.
That's the nicest cop. I've never been so happy to get a ticket. That guy was so nice. I've never been so happy to get a ticket.
That's so cringe. Dude, another story. There's another friend you guys haven't met. But his name is Loren. That dude drives so crazy, man. Like, I remember he was going like 100 plus downhill easily. And there was like a merge lane or whatever. There was a merge lane. And there was a truck coming down the merge. And he was in the far right lane because he was like lane swerving or whatever. And we're driving to Utah. The truck is coming down the merge. And then like transitions into the lane, and then he starts converging, like he was trying to overtake the truck on his right, on his blind spot, because he was lane swerving, like I said. And the truck started merging into the lane while we're on his right blind side. I deadass thought we're gonna fucking die. Like we had to pull to the shoulder, or like swerve into the shoulder because we were fucking gonna die. Me and Lorenz got pulled over in Texas and they full searched the car, by the way. Yeah. Listen, I cannot trust any of you. Every time I'm in the car, I feel like I'm at risk. I feel like I'm at risk for something. Like, I've never been pulled over ever, and I just like, I thought I was gonna die on that ride. Maybe it's because it was free? Oh yeah, George paid for all of our meals. I remember that. True, that shit was bussin'. See, when it's free, it hits different when you didn't pay for it. Only reason I know... Listen, that wasn't my sister. That was my mom's model friend. Listen, I trolled you guys. Okay, so there's this one day. My mom used to pick me up at high school in the Camaro. This was like my first 2 years of high school. My mom used to pick me up at like Walgreens or whatever, which was like across the street from my high school. And my mom is trolling. My mom's a troll. One day she picks me up and me, Lorenz, and Jawon are like all walking to my car or whatever. And my mom's model friend, she's literally a model. Like she's on not newspapers. She's on like magazines and shit. She's like a baddie Asian girl. Was in the car. And then she was like, I trolled. And I was like, that's my sister. And they like forever thought my sister was like some hot Asian baddie. Holy fuck. That wasn't my sister. My sister is literally white, bro. Dude, my mom always tries to make me like farm her friends. I remember she has like this other friend who's like in school and shit. And she would like always try to like she talks about me to them. It's so cringe, man. And then when they come over, it's like, bro, I don't know what my mom has told you, but like, it's cringe, man. Like, she tells them like how much I cook, and like, she brought one of my meals. I made like dinner one day for my mom, and she brought it to work, and then she gave it to her friend, and her friend was like, oh my god, I'd marry him just for his cooking or whatever. And like shit like that, and they come over to the house and it's so cringe, man. Like, it's actually the most cringe shit ever. I mean, some of them are bad, but it's like, bro, you guys are like 30 years old, dog. Good old Milk for Joe. Listen, they're in a different, they're like ready to settle down, they got money, they're all doing their own thing, they're fucking doctors and shit, and I'm just some 22-year-old loser playing fucking Rocket League. I remember I told this story before. I wanted to bang my fucking teacher so bad. It was my history teacher, Miss. She was so bad, bro. I remember she was a Korean, like, MILF, bro. I mean, she didn't have a kid, but she was a Korean teacher. And I would stay over at her class all the time, and we'd, like, talk to each other like we're actual friends. And, like, she wanted my dick, bro. There's no way. She wanted my dick. Like, we would stay over, she would let me come to her lunchroom, bring on my boys, and like, Green Valley was super anal about like, having students not be in the lunch court, whatever. But like, she would let us stay in her classroom and bring our food there and shit. And after school, we'd all be like, it would just be me and her. It was actually such a farm, right? Yeah, I made George DM her, bro. On Insta. And then she told me to email her, and then I was like, okay, I'm cucked, bro. That way she told me to email her. It was over. She had a boyfriend. She moved to like Seattle or some shit. I was remembering though how fun middle school was, Jawon. I was talking about this the other day. Dude, middle school was the funniest shit ever, dog. Like the fork game, the fucking nut check game, binder check game, Mark. That shit was funny as fuck. That was the peak of like funny shit. Middle school was comedy? Nah, yeah, that shit was funny every fucking day, bro. We used to have this binder game. So our school, you weren't allowed to bring backpacks. So you had to walk around with the binder. And the binder game was like, whenever someone would have their binder, we would grab their binder, like throw it on the ground or whatever. And that doesn't really sound funny, it just sounds like a bunch of bullying. But like the whole school was doing it, or whatever. Like we started a lot of like metas. And there was this one kid, Mark, and his binder was so messy. Like there would be papers hanging out of his binder and shit. Like nothing was organized. All of his papers were like crumbled in his binder. And when we would binder him, like all of his shit would go flying because it was so messy that it wouldn't just like fall. Like all of his papers would be fucked. And we would just constantly fuck with Mark, and he's the biggest idiot, right? It wasn't like bullying, like he was part of our group. We would call him a swag F word. We would all talk like we're from fucking regular show. Yeah, we would do like the shit in like middle of the class. And like, there would be like a fucking test. And Mark would start making that noise. It would be silent as fuck. And like, everyone would just, I would start dying because like, this guy's the biggest moron at our school, man. No, that's true. His shit would spread all over the floor. He'd be like, dude, and shut down and start making shit. Dude, I remember his binder would be on the ground. He sat next to me in that class. Me, Kevin, like Mark, we're all in the same class. Like his binder would just be on the floor, like under his chair. And it was so messy. Like I would start like pulling papers out of his binder, and then when he would look down at his binder, like all of his papers would be spread. Holy fuck! It doesn't sound funny, but that shit was hilarious to me, bro. His papers would be all on the floor, just spread them. But we had like me, Mark, Drake, Mo, Anthony, Lazardo, Ethan, all D-Gens in math class, and the teacher was on the verge of a mental breakdown. Nah, dude, all of our teachers, I remember, what's her name? The white girl. I forgot her name. She's a white girl, and she was kind of built, and she had like a ponytail. We were in that class, and she was like on the verge of like killing herself. Like she hated. She would scream like so loud, like every day. Like our class was just like filled with the biggest apes. I remember, oh my god. I remember someone was showing with the TV in Miss Stark's class. They would turn it on and hear static noise. Or we would pass the remote to people not to get caught. Oh my god. She got so mad. Dude, our class was actually tame. I remember she said we were her best period. But like...
She was lying to your face, bro.
We had no one in there to troll. And that was with my old ex. So, like, me and my mom would just sit next to each other.
Oh, that's so romantic.
Like, that, there was nothing fun in that. I remember in
all day.
high school, so there was this one girl. Oh my god, this story is so cringe. There was this Korean transfer student. We had, like, a lot of Koreans come to Vegas or whatever. Because they were, like, it was, like, a month program or whatever. And they like stay with like the teachers and shit. And there's this Korean chick, and she was so bad to me. She was so bad, and I wanted to farm her. So like, I remember her English was so bad, and I remember one day it was like picture day or whatever. And she was sitting alone. She was fucking sitting alone, and oh god, she was sitting alone and. Yeah, so me and my friends are telling me like go through or whatever. So I sat next to her, like me and my friends sat next to her, and I felt really bad because she like never talked to anyone because she was a Korean transfer student. And I sat next to her, and I started talking to her. I said, "Hi, I'm Joseph," or whatever, and she's like, "Tell me her name." And then I was like, I didn't know what to say, so I was like, I played a lot of League of Legends back then. So I was like, do you play League of Legends? Because I assumed she played a League of Legends, or knew what League of Legends was. Because she was Korean. This is when like SKT was like taking over the world.
So you're blatantly racist.
I literally asked her, I was like, do you know League of Legends? She was like saying, no, I don't. Or whatever. I was like, oh, it's
you're
like
nah,
really...
you know.
I was like,
racist.
I was like, it's really popular in Korea or whatever. And she was like, no, or whatever. Her English was like really broken. I was like, that was like the cringiest shit ever. And then like the picture day was like over for our period, and then we like walked back, and it was just awkward. It was actually the cringiest shit ever. And I just like gave up on it. I was like, okay, this is dude. I'm not talking to her ever again.
What is wrong with you, bro? Your only interest was to farm them? So when you didn't understand what they were saying, you just cut all connections? You have actual issues.
Holy shit, bro.